With Southern 500 weekend coming up, I thought it'd be appropriate to make this video on probably one of the better Southern 500s over the past decade. Regan Smith didn't exactly have the best start to his Cup Series career, as he joined a declining DI team in 2007, and he also shared the ride with Mark Martin. He split time with him, mostly taking time during COT races in 2007, and then almost taking over the entire schedule in 2008, only missing out 2 races. And one of the biggest moments of Regan Smith's career happened in 2008 at the Fall Talladega race, when he passed Tony Stewart apparently under the double yellow line and got his win taken away from him, and it was gifted to Tony Stewart by NASCAR, and it's still quite controversial to this day, and it's still something a lot of people argue about. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about perhaps the best moment of Regan Smith's career, his first actual Cup Series win. This race was mostly dominated by 4 guys: Kasey Kahne, Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch, and Kevin Harvick. And they combined to lead about over 200 laps out of a 370 lap race, give or take, which is quite dominant if you ask me. And with what would have been the final pit cycles finishing, Carl Edwards emerged from the pits as the leader of the race. But then, with a caution with around 10 to go, with I believe Jeff Burton's car blowing up and putting oil on the track, there was a caution, obviously, and Regan Smith stayed out. Meanwhile, Carl Edwards and a bunch of other front runners went down pit road. Now, Regan Smith was running 6th before the caution, and he was having a very good run for the standards of Furniture Row at that time. Furniture Row was still a mid-pack team where a top 20 would be considered a success for them. This was all before, Martin Truex Jr. joined them, and he absolutely exploded with his Cup Series career and absolutely dominating 2017 and all that other jazz. Regan Smith decided to stay out. Meanwhile, most of the drivers behind him had taken 2 or 4 tires, and he had to endure 2 different restarts with some of NASCAR's best at the time hounding him down for about 5 laps of green flag racing. You would think that eventually Carl Edwards, one of the best Cup Series drivers to never win a championship with over 25 wins, you would think that eventually he would find a way to get around Regan Smith, especially since it was at Darlington where tires mean everything, and surely his tires would give out by now, and Carl Edwards would be able to blow by on either the inside or the outside. But no, Regan Smith held strong, and he managed to hold the lead for the final 5 laps, and he ended up winning the race. This was Furniture Row Racing's first win in the NASCAR Cup Series, and it was probably one of their more important wins, as it gave them, a glimmer of hope that maybe one day they could end up becoming one of the top contenders in the Cup Series. Maybe one day they'd become one of the big boys contending for wins every week. You never know. Just some foreshadowing for eventually what happened from 2015 to 2018, where they were one of the top teams contending week in, week out. This is also one of the most heartwarming stories of, underdog drivers getting the win, with Regan Smith being typically a guy you wouldn't expect to be in contention for the victory, and especially with driving for Furniture Row Racing when they were still a mid-pack to backmarker team, seeing them be able to defend against a top-level team and driver in Carl Edwards and Roush Racing. It's something that you just don't see every day, and that's why it's so special, especially in NASCAR, since it's probably not going to happen for a long time, barring some crazy weather or stupid luck like Justin Haley in 2019. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed looking back on this great race about 10 years from when it originally happened as much as I did, and I hope you enjoyed this video.